My gosh, do I love it when the internet goes crazy. Because I'm Dr. Robotnik, the agent of chaos, it's my favorite thing. Well, no, it's not my favorite thing because people always take it too far. I did this social media post earlier. As everything that I post on social media is perfectly innocent. I usually do it with a smile on my face. I'll reply to some of the trolls laughing away and then they get so damn mad. But Goldberg returned to WWE last night. Not the biggest surprise in the world. I think it's been rumored for a while. I think most of us thought it would go down at Saturday Night's Main Event. He confronted Gunther. We are going to have a World Championship match on that show on July 12th, 14th, whatever the flub it is. The terrifying weekend of wrestling. And listen, I always go with my gut. Somebody messaged, I can't stand it. This is the one that always gets me. If you want to annoy me, say this to me. Oh, here he is, Mr. Toxic Positivity. Toxic positivity is when you force something from a place that isn't real, right? That's a reductionist way to describe it. Believe you me, anytime I tell you I like something, it comes from here. It comes from the tum-tum. I don't just say something, oh, this will be fun. That's what grifters do. I am blessed and lucky enough to be in the position that I am in, thanks to people like you. So the least I can do is be honest and open and transparent with you. I don't care if you disagree with me. It's pro wrestling. That's what it's all about. Get in those comments and call me a bald a-hole. That's why I call myself the bald a-hole, because it's just a bit of fun, and I'm lucky that I get to call this my living. Anyway, I'm going on one of my tangents again, but I genuinely did like it. And the reason I knew it is as soon as we got bomb, which is Goldberg's theme. Also not a royalty-free song, but it's on like a production library. Nobody wrote that. WCW just found it in their archives, I suppose. I felt it, the nostalgia hit. Sure, Goldberg came out and you can tell that he's been through the wars over the years, which he has done. He's been a high-level athlete now for, 30 years probably? But I just got so excited. There's something about the guy. He's so damn serious all the time. He's got a wonderful bald head. And even when he spoke to Gunther, he's like, man, I'm going to flub you up when we get down to Saturday Night's Main Event. I totally believed it, and I bought it in. And you get a lot of people that like to use the phrase, but then the bell has to ring. The bell ain't ringing for another month. I don't want to live my life that way, that in 4 weeks it may not go exactly according to plan. I want to enjoy what was presented to me on a Monday night, and it made me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old again. And listen, Goldberg, say what you want about him, did change the game in the late 90s. He allowed WCW to stay open a lot longer than it would have done otherwise. And he did kind of introduce a style that nobody was used to. And sure, you can then go, yeah, he just murdered fools, which is also true. But we as fans still bought into it and put him on this massive pedestal. So I look at it 2 ways, 3 ways. 1, I just enjoyed it. I just did. 2, I look at it from Bill Goldberg's standpoint. I think it would be nice if he could have a proper retirement. And 3, listen, man, one day I'm going to be in my late 50s. And if somebody... That's the way I look at it is like this. Somebody can say, Simon, get off YouTube because you're in the late 50s. I'm like, please no. I don't want to get off YouTube. This is my life, man. So at one point, we're all going to be there. Some more respect to the dude. And sure, it looked like he was struggling to walk. I'm not going to get on his case for blowing up cardiovascular-wise. 1, I don't think we should do that with anyone. I think it's really unfair. Wrestling is super hard. That's why everyone doesn't do it. But also, I can tell you from an independent wrestling perspective, sometimes I've gotten pops I wasn't expecting from the audience. And it's not because I'm not used to getting pops. You could get 7 million pops, but one just takes you off guard. And when you get to the ring, you're like... and you are blown up. We sit with Jey Uso all the time because you get so fired up, you give way too much energy. There is a skill to doing an entrance and not blowing yourself up. Now, I'm not saying that Goldberg is then going to get in the ring and be a cardiovascular machine, but right now, I'm not even worrying about that. And to me, it's also a huge part of the magic of pro wrestling. Like, you can't do this in baseball, the NFL, soccer, basketball, other things, because you do age out. Because when you have proper competition, for lack of a better word, you can't keep up with younger people. Like boxers say it all the time, it's a young man's game, it's a young man's game, because you're getting punched in the head. With wrestling, there's bells, there's whistles, there's smoke, there's mirrors. I mean, Sting retired last year at 61, was he, or 63? Greatest thing ever, because he's Sting. That doesn't mean that Goldberg's going to go out there and have as good a performance as Sting did, but I don't want to start comparing them because that's totally insane. But I do want to be able to exist in a world where it's possible. And there'll be other people out there as well that I'm not even thinking of right now. I'd love if they can have one last match. Like, never, ever, ever stop doing that. And let's say we get to Saturday Night's Main Event, it's an absolute bust. As long as nobody gets hurt, it's one show in a company that has 7 million shows in 2025. And I like to think that Gunther is probably hyped about this as well. You find me a wrestler that doesn't want to fight Goldberg in their retirement match, and I'll be very, very, very surprised. And the other one I got was, oh yeah, but Goldberg hurts people nowadays. I don't want to get down that thing. The Undertaker match back in the Saudi Arabia deal, whenever that was not good, but Goldberg's admitted it, The Undertaker has admitted it. That's not fair, I don't think, to copy and paste all that on the future. Unless it happens again, then that's different. The evidence stacks up. But I don't know, that one just rubbed me the wrong way because nobody actually goes out there to hurt anybody in wrestling. And I don't think Goldberg is so desperate to have a last match that he would put somebody else's life at risk. That's the number one thing about wrestling is when you go in there, you take each other's life in your own hands. And that's why I find it a little bit insulting. And you can say, Simon, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say. I admit that, but it's also how I feel. Once again, I'm just being honest with you. But I loved it. And I think you could see Gunther smiling at one point. I think he got a kick out of it. And what has been lost here, because everyone's melting down, and more power to you, that's half the fun of social media, is I think Gunther sold this wonderfully. When Goldberg's music hit, he was so disgusted. His face was like, you kidding me? You're actually going to come out here? So I'm very, very excited about it. Again, I think wrestling should always make you laugh and go, hee hee hee, how is this even happening? Which is what we're going to do. I don't think it's going to go longer than 3 minutes. I think Gunther should pretty much whip his ass after Goldberg has 60 seconds of power. If he can do a jackhammer, I think Gunther should kick out. Same with the spear. I think it should all be about making Gunther bigger going forward. And yes, I don't think it should be for the world title. I think that's stupid. There you go. There's no need to do that. Goldberg hasn't been around for however long it's been. I said this on Ups and Downs and What Culture. Check it out. It made me laugh because I'm an idiot. Gunther could go, we thought we lost you, Goldberg. Where have you been within the magical world of kayfabe? And I just don't like Gee's title shot, right? Which just means give me a title shot, please. I think you need to earn these things and it need to make sense with the story. It's just a get out of jail free card. If you can go up to a champion and go, hello, I always do this. Can I have a championship match, please? And they're able to go, yes, you can. What are we even doing? That's not story. That's not even exposition. That's just jumping right in. But it's WWE, and these things happen. And they happen on AEW, and they happen in New Japan. Like, why is Tanahashi in this year's G1? He's not done anything in a G1, but because this is last year and it's exciting and it's fun. Same with Goldberg, same with John Cena, same with all of these people. So I'd love to tell you I didn't like it. I'd love to tell you it didn't give me goosebumps. I'd love to tell you I didn't watch that entrance about 9 times, but I did all of those things. And you're allowed to think I'm an idiot. You're allowed to think I'm part of the problem. You're allowed to think this content is too positive, but it's not toxic. It's genuinely what I feel. And, you know, if you do watch all of my videos over here on What Culture, you know we criticize loads of things, like the dick counter. I'm such a child. Distraction, interference, and confusion. Once again on this episode of Raw, way too much. The last match was brilliant, the men's King of the Ring, because it was just like a SWAT team coming in. It's like WrestleMania 40, the second half of the Cody Roman match, and that's where it should have been saved for, because that's Seth Rollins' group. They're like, man, we are going to get in there like bees and wasps, and we are always going to assure that we're in control. But then we did it in the AJ Styles match, and we did it in the women's Queen of the Ring match, whichever one it was. And then it is too much. She's like, we're doing this throughout the show now. Why can't we come up with a more creative idea? Which I thought was doubly shameful. That's not what I meant. That's way too much. Doubly disappointing. Because on SmackDown on Friday, there were loads of interesting finishes, like the LA Knight RKO and the Charlotte Flair Alexa Bliss stuff. So it's kind of a shame we went back to this. Like, it's not a big deal. I get over it straight away. But if I am going to sit down here and do a post-mortem on Raw, yes, way too many of them. And I would give the AJ Styles one, because he took on JD McDonough in order to set up his IC title match with Dominic at Night Champions. Very excited about that. Screwed up my insane predictions from yesterday, but check them out. I think a lot of them will come true. But it's better there, because of course you have to allow heels to try and cheat sometimes. I mean, I would still hold it off because give that power to Seth Rollins. But when they aren't able to do it because they're morons, and AJ Styles is like, go away, Dom, go away, JD, and he gets the win, it's fine. But again, when it keeps happening, it keeps happening. Because in the women's one, Raquel Rodriguez was about to win. I think she hit her Tawana bomb, whatever it's called, on Stephanie Vaquer as well. So super interesting. She could argue she had Stephanie beat. Maybe that's a future feud that we're going to do. And listen, Rhea Ripley pulling her out and looking happier than the Cheshire Cat was a wonderful, wonderful moment. I thought it was great, especially because Raquel Rodriguez was then confused and she got hip attacked, knee in the face, whatever you want to call it, by Asuka for the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I've just mentioned 3 times, right? And last week's Raw is probably 7 times. It just, when you do anything too much, right? It's the law of diminishing returns. It just is. But Asuka being back was brilliant. Like, she's so good. And I don't know how old she is now. She had a massive knee brace on, but she just doesn't seem to age, and she doesn't seem to lose a step for me. She's a very smart, intelligent wrestler, and I think WWE are lucky to have her, which again sounds dumb, but I think she could go on and on forever, because the way she views the world is just, or the wrestling world, I should say, I think is phenomenal. But there was some really good matches. Like, I really enjoyed the King of the Ring women's one, because again, I thought Ivy Nile would get pinned. Now I'm worried I'm wrong about this. Either way, though, I was entertained by it. The Rhea thing was good. AJ Styles finally going after the Intercontinental title when I thought we'd forgotten about that, because I'm pretty sure we started before WrestleMania. So falling back into that lane is awesome. And the main event was just a barrel of laughs. I mean, it was Sheamus Rusev, Jey Uso and Bronson Reed. So it was big men slapping man meat. When Rusev and Sheamus went at it, I'm pretty sure they just punched each other in the face, and the fans were into this, and I presume we're going to do that at SummerSlam. Bronson Reed is just great, man. What a fantastic pro wrestler. Jey Uso winning. Do I understand why people didn't like it? Not really. I mean, you'd have to tell me in the comments below, please do. But that sets up Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. That's a phenomenally interesting match. And if you are going to do tournament matches, it has to have some face versus face connection. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing? And I'm like, well, what are we going to do there? And the other one is Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. So I say credit to WWE for giving me some truly intriguing contests. But this is where my worry comes in. Don't dick them. Don't dick them, right? DIC. I hope maybe one of them is fine, but one of them has to have a proper finish. And maybe it can be Jey Uso. We talked about this the other day as well. I'm no longer massively against, and I was never against it anyway, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso coming back together if we do not have a plan for Jey Uso, because someone needs to save this Raw Tag Team division. You've got the New Day there, who are always funny, always entertaining on the microphone, one of the GOAT tag teams. They just cut promos. And they're good promos, but they go nowhere because they've got nothing to do. They're hanging out with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory at the moment, who are never going to break up. Again, I said this on Ups and Downs. Please do check it out. GTA 6 is going to come out before those two break up. It has been at least 14 months. I actually think it's 16 months. It's been well over a year since we first teased it. And if we could do the Usos versus the New Day under the new WWE banner, where we reference the past and we stretch these stories out and they're allowed to sort of be a long-term thing, it could be really interesting. Because again, they were going at it like 2014, maybe 2016. So that would be super duper interesting. But yeah, Jey versus Cody, Randy versus Sammy. I still think it's going to be a Randy-Cody final. I think we're going to plant the seeds for the Randy Orton heel turn as soon as Cody Rhodes gets the belt back. But I just think it makes the King of the Ring really interesting. I mean, it's way better than, I can't remember who's in it now, Bronson Reed versus Cody Rhodes would be a great match, like it really, really would. But I know what's going to happen there. I can predict it. And actually, we're probably going to get the same outcome regardless. But it was cool. And of course, it ended with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes looking at each other. So something is happening there. I wonder if this is a tease for SummerSlam, because I'm convinced that Seth Rollins is cashing in at SummerSlam. And if it is Gunther versus, who the hell would he be fighting there? I can't remember now. Well, I guess it could be Sami Zayn if he wins the King of the Ring. But I think John Cena and Cody Rhodes are going to go at it as well. The point is this, if you can tease that Seth Rollins is going after either guy, we've done Gunther, now we're doing Cody. Let's say we do Sami Zayn versus Gunther and we do Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, all of a sudden there'll be like a sort of Damocles hanging over both their heads. Or maybe Seth cashes on Cody after he wins. Maybe he cashes in on Sami after he wins. It depends what you're going to do, but that may not even be the direction they're heading in, and they've tricked me. But more power to you, WWE. I like to be tricked. So the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, I think, are really good. The only other massive shame was that Liv Morgan got injured on nothing. Like, when I first saw the footage back on social media, it was like, oh my gosh, you can see what happened here. It's just one of those stupid accounts. She just took a front bump. That was it, off a takedown. I've watched it over and over and over again. It's smooth, it's normal, it's what anybody would do, it's what I would expect to do, it's what I'd expect somebody to do to me. This is why wrestling is terrifying and dangerous, and why we shouldn't take the mick out of that stuff, which you see all of the time. Oh, you botched this. Yeah, you should be terrified about that. Somebody fell down. Who the flub knows what's going to happen? She's dislocated her shoulder, which could keep her out for what, over a month, 2 months? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. We shouldn't talk about that kind of stuff when we don't know. But it just sucks again. She mentioned Nikki Bella in an opening promo. Definitely was going to do something with the Io Sky and Night of Champions, I believe. I do have a little bit of a bugbear about that, because why are we just ignoring the tag team titles? But I guess it would have been Nikki and Brie versus Raquel and Liv, so that's fine. And now we have to get rid of all of that, because all of that's going down in less than a month. And who knows, right? She may have John Cena genes and come back, but it just sucks. Because Liv Morgan came out here, started the show, thought she did a great job, and obviously she was involved in so many storylines. And even if she wasn't, you just never want to see anybody get hurt. But that's wrestling. You just do not know what's around the corner, and you always have to be careful. I wasn't actually a big fan of the Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez tease that they're going to split up. No thanks. Defend your belts first. Those two are great together. They have great chemistry. They should be teaching science. I understand that it ties into Finn Balor going around being the ultimate troll and trying to separate Roxanne Perez and Raquel from everybody else. I mean, he definitely doesn't like Dominic anymore, because then that led to the AJ Styles JD McDonough match, where it was Dom trying to help and he totally failed, so Finn Balor can be like, ha ha, you absolutely suck. But yeah, Liv and Raquel should be together for a while. I'm a bit worried that we are going to break them up, but we wait and see, right? And again, throwing LA Knight into the main event too was good, because now we can do LA Knight versus Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. You've screwed me, I've screwed you, you've screwed me, I've screwed Moo. I think there was one more, maybe, or maybe they're evens at the moment, so that can lead to the match. And of course, he'll get totally murked by Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, who also got involved in the main event. Well, Obviously, Bronson Reed did. He was part of it. It would be strange if he wasn't there. Otherwise, big fan of what we've done with the Women's Intercontinental Championship over the last, 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. It is in a great position. Bayley and Becky Lynch had their big, promo off. I did think at some points, I think I'm being slightly harsh here, because there was fire to it, but I thought at some points it could turn into a blaze, and we never really got there. But you want to hold some stuff back too. What I would like to happen with this, because Bayley's point is, Becky Lynch took me out at WrestleMania, now I want revenge. Becky Lynch is like, I took you out because you're happy being second fiddle. We were always the people that were never being pushed, and I sort of made the steps and you didn't. So Becky's like, all right. Bayley's like, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong now. So you got the IC title match next week, which is super fast. But I would try and hold this off till SummerSlam, do the three-way, Becky versus Lyra versus Bayley, because Bayley and Lyra did have that connection backstage where they essentially fell out. I would have Lyra Valkyria win that, spin off with someone else, and I would do Becky versus Bayley, but one-on-one, no title, all story, all personal, massive promos, intricate stuff, talking about the past, talking about the future, because Becky Lynch talked about that in her book, that she would like to do something like that without a championship to prove that the women's division can do it. And if anybody has the tenure and the ability to do it, it's Bayley and Becky Lynch, because they were in very similar positions at one point. I would take the gloves off and let them go totally crazy. So this was good. I would have preferred it, and this is a minor quibble, that Bayley didn't do the whole, oh my gosh, the fans, I'm so happy to be back. It's not her fault. But whether you're a heel or a face now, that always seems to be the first thing that we say. I don't think we need to go, I just think we can do something different, right? It's like the DIC. The DIC always come up with new creative things. But again, Bayley was so genuine here. I think she's fantastic. I think she's underutilized. I think she's underrated. And I think she's right. I think she is a future Hall of Famer. And I think, very sadly, unless we get like a Sheamus resurgence, which I'm hoping for, it will be too late before the majority go, man, she was so good. Because the WWE Women's Division, as it is now, is not there without Bayley. She did so much, the Sasha Banks matches, and just her character in NXT, which was totally nullified by Vince McMahon, who thought the hugger gimmick was more of a kid as opposed to someone that was meant to appeal to kids. It was very, very weird, and it wasn't out of the realms of possibilities. People used to say this, she could be the female John Cena because she had that connection, but it was never capitalized on. But very easy to watch Raw. The Liv Morgan thing was the most sad part, whatever you want to say. And that did condense the show as well, because the Kairi Sane match and Liv lasted, a minute? So one of the first moves that they did, so we kind of just had to end that and move on to something else. But I mean, to me, it was not bookended, doesn't make any sense, but I just love the Goldberg stuff. I just do. And maybe the match will be the worst thing ever. Okay, well, we're going to do a review of that Satellite's main event somehow, if I can get it in with all the other videos. And I didn't like it. Okay, we move on to someone else, as long as nobody gets hurt. If someone gets hurt, that's a different conversation. I don't think they are going to. And I just like people having their last hurrahs, especially when they put in all of that time. And by all things considered, Bill Goldberg's a pretty nice guy, unless you ask Bret Hart, and he will tell you otherwise. And on that note, I will let you leave a comment below. Please disagree with me. This is the other thing that I get. Simon's so positive, he doesn't want negativity. That's not negativity, man. Negativity is if all of a sudden you're crapping on me for no reason. It's not even that. But if you have a feeling about something, you think I'm wrong, dude, come talk to me, man. I'll chat to you till the cows come home. I take none of this stuff seriously, but I don't take myself seriously, but I take this stuff seriously. Is that right? No idea. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Click the video on the screen. Like I say, I've come up with some pretty good long-term ideas for Night of Champions, but they're all crazy, but I think they can happen, so check that video out. Otherwise, it's patreon.com/Simon316, the link down there. It's only $5. Come do our watch-alongs. We are doing the Gimmick Battle Royal, and we just did Cody versus Seth from WrestleMania 38. It was very fun to relive that entrance. Please do check out grillermind.com/Simon. Just go to Simon to get 10% off. These are fitness supplements. Here I am in a stupid gym vest. It's so hot here in the UK. But I like these supplements, hence why I'm happy to be on board. Come say hello to Simon316. Come get a cameo with Simon Miller. Join my TikTok at Simon J. Miller, full of nonsense now, and it's prowrestlingtees.com/Simon Miller and simonmiller.bigcartel.com for merchandise. Again, the links are down there. Continue to enjoy wrestling, my friends. Thank you to the guy that posted a clip for one of these videos the other day of me saying, yeah, positive wrestling. Man, I got 95% people being awesome and 5% being totally crazy. I love it, man. What a privileged position I am in. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you soon.